This is the LZR Project, an episodic story series by David and Alderman. The LZR Project takes place within David's Expired Reality universe and serves as a prequel to the main novels in his Expired Reality series. You can find out more about David's Expired Reality series at davidandalderman.com. Episode number 16. The buildings of destiny towered over Veronica like giants, watching her, waiting to see if she would make a move to try and harm this city away from cities. She kept a close eye on the structures she passed, expecting excess or another assailant to leap out of the shadows. The blue moonlight faded the closer she got to the middle of the city, and something suddenly felt wrong, unnatural. Veronica felt a heavy feeling of despair settle within her spirit. She tried to keep moving forward, even though darkness had begun to swallow her between the buildings. The weight was too great, and she fell to her knees, using the tips of her scion blades to prop her and keep her from falling all the way to the ground. Where is this coming from, she wondered, having a hard time breathing. She closed her eyes and took slow, relaxed breaths. She envisioned the city as it was before this age, alive and full of people. Thousands of voices suddenly cried out, the voices of the dead. The city had been slaughtered by something dark, something evil. A beast? A bomb? A poisonous gas? She couldn't pinpoint the source of the city's destruction, but she could feel the agony, it's overwhelming, isn't it? Veronica opened her eyes and craned her neck in the direction of the voice directly ahead of her. With the moonlight now gone, she couldn't see anything. Excess, she grumbled. Light flickered nearby, candlelight. At first, a single candle moved in front of her, carried by a young female dressed in dark clothing. Another candle appeared, and another, and the wide corridor in front of her lit up with a half-dozen candles. 4 girls stood on one side of the street, and 4 stood on the other, creating a canal of candlelight which illuminated the buildings around them. At the end of the makeshift runway, Veronica managed to make out a figure in a mask who stood on top of a derelict vehicle. "The constant air of doom in this place is quite remarkable," he said. "I won't say that I enjoy it, because I don't. Not really. But I have learned to bend it to my will, to soak it in, and allow it to give me life, the same as oxygen." Veronica closed her eyes for a moment, long enough to renew her strength, and then she stood to her feet. Her scion blades felt like heavy bricks in her hands, but she refused to let them go. They were her only form of protection against the monster that stood before her. "Come closer," he said, kneeling on the vehicle. "I want to get a closer look at you." "Gladly," Veronica replied. She slowly made her way between the candlelight, examining the young girls around her. They each wore black t-shirts and pants, and most of them had a glazed look in their eyes, brought out by the flickering candlelight. "Do not be concerned with my entourage." Veronica made her way to the vehicle and stopped a few feet from Excess. She looked up and saw clearly his black mask, diamond eyes, and neon green zigzag smile. His suit was made of tan sackcloth, just as Silva had told her it was. "You look like you've seen a monster," Excess said. His voice sounded deeper beneath the mask at this close range. Veronica said nothing. She instead decided to use her strength to stand against the oppressive spirit within the city. "It is tough at first," he said. "Tough to stand, tough to go against the wave of disconcertment. But you will get used to it." "I won't," she said. "Maybe not. Take off your mask and let me see who you really are." Excess stood atop the car and crossed his arms. "I can't do that. You know I am Excess. You know that I commanded Semper Creed before you took his head off with those blades of yours. What more is there to know?" "Hundreds of girls. You enslaved hundreds of girls." "Thousands," he corrected calmly. "Thousands of girls. Beautiful girls, sweet girls, innocent girls." He sighed. "Before you call me a monster, question what is underneath this mask. My outside, my costume as you would put it, makes me look like a monster. You think my actions make me seem like a monster. But do you know who I really am? Will you ever know who I really am?" "I'm going to kill you," Veronica said, grinning, grasping the handles of her weapons tighter. "I will slice you in half with my blades." "You have quite the dark imagination. I can see now why Semper enlisted you to help him with his responsibilities." "I will kill you like I killed Semper." Excess put his fists on his hips and bent his neck so he was staring straight up at the sky. "You think so?" Veronica took a deep breath and then lunged off her left foot, extending her blades out as she threw one directly at him. Without effort, he turned just slightly to the right as her blade sailed past him and stuck into the pillar of the building behind him. I didn't lead you here so you could kill me. Lead me here. Do you honestly think Silva was on your side, he said. She can put on quite the act. Innocent. A victim. I knew you'd fall for it. She's not a slave? Oh, Excess said as he took Veronica's blade out of the pillar, hopped down off the car, and stood within a foot of her. He handed her the blade as she took it from him, wondering when it would be safe to lunge at him again. She is a slave, Veronica. She is my personal slave. But you seem to have a misunderstanding of the definition of slave. She doesn't just do what I tell her to do. She does what I want her to do. See, he pointed to a small barcode sticker on the back of his wrist. She and I are connected. My desires filter into her mind, and she obeys me. What? Don't act so surprised. This technology is overdue. Those of us who are better, stronger, smarter have always fought to take control of those who are not. There are slaves, and there are slave masters. It would please you to know that I consider you my equal, Veronica. In the future, anyway. Right now, you have much to learn. I want to teach you, he said, touching his chest with his hand. I want to be your teacher and you my student. I will excel where Semper failed. There is no need to fear me, no need to revile me. I am in this to make the world a better place. But I need people like you to do that. He opened his gloved hand, revealing a small barcode sticker in his palm. Take it. Become my little bird. Veronica took a few steps back, balancing herself with the weight of her blades. She glanced around at the girls around her and wondered if they were slaves as well. Excess started toward her. Please, Veronica, please take it. A gift from me to you. I want you to be my slave. I want you to do my bidding. He drew close to her, leaving only 2 feet between them before he stopped and held the sticker toward her. This is an honor I desire to bestow upon you. Veronica struck with her left hand, swinging the scion blade as it sliced through his wrist, cutting off his hand. Instead of running, she swung the other blade out to finish the job, but Excess blocked it with his good arm, which seemed to have reinforced steel underneath the sackcloth sleeve. He fell to his knees, his arm defending, his head bobbing back and forth. Veronica heard him vomit underneath his mask. Dark liquid seeped out the sides of his mask, splashing his shoulders and legs. She took a few steps back and waited. She wanted to kill him while he was here on his knees. Cut his head off, walk away. The last piece of business would be to make sure Silva broke free from this man's evil spell. But she couldn't bring herself to murder him in cold blood. He had nothing to defend himself with, no weapon to fight with. Veronica reached her hand out to take hold of his mask, to pull it off and reveal who this traitor to humankind really was. Don't, he said, slapping her hand away with incredible strength. You have betrayed me enough. Betrayed you? I brought you here to take you as my own. My slave, my pet, my bird. I would have taken care of you. I would have groomed you, fed you. I would have loved you as I would have loved a sister. You're a freak, Veronica growled. I should cut your head off right now and call it a day. You bring me to this? She motioned to the dark city around her, to the girls holding the candles. To this place? This horrible place? I don't even know where this place came from, but it's not a part of Anaisha. I can feel it in my bones. I can sense it in my spirit. Excess chuckled. Veronica, that is why I wanted you to have the honor of serving me. Nothing gets past you. Well, almost nothing. Even this city, this relic of an age gone by, can't deceive you. This city isn't a part of Anaisha. You are right about that. He knelt and pried his amputated hand free of the barcode. He stuck the barcode to his other wrist and stood to his feet, clutching his afflicted arm which gushed blood from the wound. Show her, he shouted. One of the girls stepped forward and turned her right wrist over to reveal a barcode sticker. What are you doing, Excess? Veronica asked. My name is not Excess. That is what I am called in this realm. You know my name, Veronica. Someday you may finally realize what it is. Until that day, I must bid you farewell. I leave you with 2 choices. Either chase after me or... The girl with the barcode turned and rushed into a nearby building as the others followed her, each taking their candlelight with them, leaving Veronica and Excess in darkness. I wanted you with me, Excess whined. But since you are not with me, you are against me. You have 2 choices, both which will allow you to live to see another day. But what kind of life will you be living? One choice will allow you to chase after me. The other will allow you to chase after my slave and stop her from jumping off the top of the building. What? Goodbye, Veronica. Make your decision. Make it a good one. How will you sleep after this day? Will you be haunted by the screams of an innocent and beautiful soul? Or will you slumber knowing you've stopped me once and for all by cutting off my head like you did Semper's? Excess fled. Veronica attached her scion blades to her hips and rushed into the building the girls had escaped into. When she entered the lobby, she saw the line of girls moving onto the stairwell, chasing after the girl with the barcode sticker. Veronica shoved her way past them, struggling to fight her way up the candlelit stairs. She knocked some of the candles onto the floor, the flames casting dancing shadows across the walls. The heaviness of the environment continued to press upon her spirit, like a thick covering of tar. But she ran with all her might, pushing girls out of the way, shoving some of them down the stairs. Nearly out of breath, Veronica finally reached the roof. She slammed the door shut, hoping to bar the others from coming up here. The air chilled her skin even beneath the heavy overcoat, and a brief spat of snow flurries made it difficult to find her way to the lone candle in the distance. Veronica approached the young girl, careful not to spook her and cause her to fall over the edge accidentally. "Stay away," the girl said in a rehearsed tone. Veronica held her hand out. "Please, come with me. You're under Excess's influence. I can help you. I can save you." The girl glanced over the edge of the roof. "Down there is where I belong." No, it's not. You belong over here with me. I can take you to safety. I can get you away from Excess." The girl looked at Veronica, the glaze in her eyes sparkling over the candlelight. "Can you?" "Yes, I promise I can save you." The girl took Veronica's hand and stepped down from the ledge. Without warning, Veronica took hold of the barcode sticker and peeled it off the girl's wrist. She threw it to the surface of the roof and stepped on it, satisfied when she had ground the small electronic device under her heel. The candle fell from the girl's hand, and she collapsed. "Hey!" Veronica knelt and tried to wake the girl up by slapping her in the face, shaking her, and finally performing CPR. But it was no use. Veronica cradled the girl's head in her hands, brushing her hair. No. Why did you do this, Excess? Why would you do this to such a young girl? Why did you bring me here?" She set the girl down and picked up her candle. "I'm so sorry." She returned to the stairwell and opened the door, expecting a mob. A girl lay on the top step, her body void of life, her candle off to the side, void of a flame. A few steps down, she found another corpse. All the way down the stairwell, girls lay dead, their bodies in crooked and unnatural positions, small flickers of candlelight revealing Veronica's grim mistake. "What happened to you?" she screamed. In the candlelight, she spotted a small barcode sticker on the wrist of one of the girls. She checked another girl and another and found barcode stickers on all of them. And then she remembered what Excess had said about there being slaves and slave masters. By removing the girl's barcode, she had killed everyone connected to her barcode. Veronica bolted through the doorway to the floor she was on and rushed down the hallway, her small candle lighting the way. She stopped in the middle of a cluster of cubicles and took refuge in a workstation. She set the candle on the desk and then sat in the office chair and buried her face in her hands. The small candle kept her company as she sobbed, shining its light, shooing away the darkness as Veronica mourned for the lives she had unwittingly taken. When some time had passed, she lifted her head and remembered that the taxicab was going to be back to get her. She stood up from the chair and took a deep breath, exhaling it slowly, deliberately. Excess was still alive. He had revealed his hand to her this evening, and Veronica would make sure to win the next round. The lives she destroyed tonight would not be in vain, and they would only serve to fuel her rage against Excess and his entire network. She could do nothing for the girls who had died. She didn't have time to bury them or take their names or ID or personal belongings. This city, this strange graveyard of buildings, contained more mysteries than Veronica had time to uncover. Mercy Springs, Destiny, or whatever the name of this place was. It had come from somewhere, dropped from the sky or another realm. The candlelight flickered on a flyer affixed to the cubicle wall. A band, the Psychedelic Furs, was going to be playing at the Mercy Springs High School Winter Formal on Saturday, December 17th, 1983. 1983, she thought. Who are the Psychedelic Furs? An empty and rusted can of soda sat near the computer keyboard. Veronica carefully picked it up, it was cold to the touch, and turned it around to see the name. Coca-Cola. She had never heard of the brand before. Setting it down, she continued to see things that she had never seen or heard of in an era before. Commodore 64, Bic, and an ad for an upcoming video game, Ultima 3, Exodus. Confused by her entire visit here, Veronica felt sick for home, sick for David. She wanted his warm embrace, his friendly smile, his touch. It was something she would never ever admit to Carrie, but it was something she tore herself apart over every day. Each time David looked at Veronica, Veronica put a wall up. That wall was destroyed every time he breathed around her or spoke to her or briefly put his arm around her. Up and down the walls went, tugging and pulling and prodding at her spirit, tormenting her soul. She knew how David felt regarding Carrie because it was the exact same way Veronica felt toward David. But he didn't know, and he would never know. Veronica couldn't let him know. Veronica couldn't let anyone know, not even her brother, especially not Carrie. The information would destroy their friendship, cause a rift between David and Carrie, and, Veronica was pretty sure of this, tear a hole in the space-time continuum. Veronica left the building guided by candlelight. She made her way to the outskirts of Mercy Springs, the blue moon reappearing to give its glow graciously to Veronica. She found her backpack and put her scion blades within it. Then she sat in the sand to wait for the taxi to return. I wonder if this city will be here if I ever come back. Maybe she could show her friends. Maybe not. For all she knew, this could be Exus's home, his fortress. A fortress Veronica had stormed to cut off his hand and run. She didn't think he was going to let that go. She didn't care, though. The atrocities he had committed. She turned back to the city, gazing at its dark silhouettes. Thank you for listening to the LZR Project. If you are interested in reading more of David's expired reality series, please check out the author's webpage at davidnalderman.com.